Hello, for this new video I'm going to show you the updates I made for this plugin. So if I click play now, you can see that I have some errors in the AI character and the third person character. So I'm going to go to my AI character, and if I try to compile, I got some errors. So let's see. This is happening because this set saved variables function doesn't exist anymore in the newest version of this plugin. So for fixing, the only thing you need to do is to remove this function. So I'm going to delete, and instead of using the set saved variables, I'm going to call the set saved booleans. So as you can see, I divided this function to make things more readable and organize it. So in this case I'm going to save booleans and vectors. So let's connect all the pins, compile, and no more errors. Now for the get saved variable functions, the solution is very similar. So instead of using this function, I'm going to call get saved booleans, and I'm going to make the same thing for the vectors, of course. So let's call get saved vectors, and we now have the saved booleans and the saved vectors. So I'm going to delete this function, and instead of using this approach, I created the macros for keep things more readable. So I'm going to use the new macros I created. It's called sequence from input array, and if I go to my save variables, I see that I saved my variable in the index 0. So I need to get access to the index 0. In this case, if I write 0, I'm going to get access to 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2 indexes. If I write 1, I'm going to get access to 10, 11, 12, etc. And in this case, if I write 12, I'm going to get access to the 120, 121, 122, etc. The same thing happens when I use this sequence for an input array from 5 to 9. So in this case I need access to the index 0, 0, so I'm going to write 0 here, and I'm going to connect this input. By the way, this sequence has an input array that is a wildcard, and it will change the items, the type of the items, according to the type of the input array. So now I could use this completed output, but in this case I'm going to use the sequence. I'm going to make the same thing here. I'm going to call sequence from the input array 0 to 4. I'm going to connect the vectors. You see that the items type changes to vectors too. And now I could use the completed output, but in this case I will keep using the sequence. So as you see, I think this is a more cleaner way to load the variables. So now I have an error with the third person character, but in this case, in this character, I'm not using the save functionality. So I'm going to unconnect this pin, and that's it. So as you see, I can keep things more readable using this node. And if I go to my component, I also change the name from enable plugin to enable component. So for now, this is the video. I'm going to wrap up now, and let's continue in the next tutorial.